All right, guys, this is for educational purposes only. We're on part three, mitigation, right? So, this particular part is going to be about mitigation when you call the insurance company with a claim, and the person who answers the phone, usually they're like the intake. So, they're not, um, and I just want to let you guys know most of the time when people answer the phone and they take down the information about the claim, they are not licensed, right? Um, they just take down the information so that it gets in the system and it gets assigned to a licensed adjuster, okay? That is assigned to you. So once you give them a call, you let the intake person know, hey, because they're going to ask you, do you need any mitigation? You'll probably, in this case, you'll say yes, right? So once you say yes, then they'll send out mitigation companies. Just a few of them is ServPro, Pure Clean, Paul Davis. Me personally, I do like Paul Davis because I have a good rapport with them. So I usually use them. ServPro's pretty good. Pure Clean, I don't really have too much good luck with them, but hey, they may be good with other people. Keep in mind, a lot of these mitigation companies are their franchise. So it really depends on what area you're in, what manager has that particular franchise. And just so happens, I just know which state, because I'm licensed in 48 states, which states and which areas, because I've been doing it so long, I know which manager is good at what franchise. So it helps me out a lot during the claim process. Just because I care about my insurance. Some people don't. I mean, some adjusters don't. They just whatever, right? And I'm able to get the information back quickly as possible for me. I like to keep claims in and out. So anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about once you're assigned to a mitigation company to come out from the insurance company. They come out, they do the cleaning. Normally they give you a call before they come out just to schedule an appropriate time that works best for you and them. When they come out, they'll normally have humidifiers, things like that. Be aware that it's going to make a lot of noise. Some depending on how big your water catastrophe is. If it's a Cat 3, it's of course you're going to have a lot of fans, humidifiers that are going to make a lot of noise, guys. So you're going to have to kind of like work with that. They will come in depending on how much damage. A lot of them may have to tear out the baseboards. They may have to cut flood cuts. Usually the flood cuts are about 3 feet high. Sometimes it just depends on what your damages are. They may have to pull up the flooring, the carpet, things like that. I always suggest that you guys make sure that you are you are kind of like babysitting them, I guess, in a sense. Not too much, but making sure that they're taking appropriate pictures. You can ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is your property, so you want to make sure that they're mitigating correctly, right? Sometimes those fans stay in for about 2 days. It takes no usually doesn't take no longer than 3 days to mitigate the situation or clean up the water, things like that. Once they do that, then at that point they should send over that information to your adjuster. Now, because I pick the best mitigation companies for myself to communicate with or correspond with, it usually takes them about 2 days sometimes not even 2 days for them to send over the information that I need, which is the dry log, the photos, and the estimate, right? The W-9, I don't normally need that if we're sending them out because they're in network and that's already in the system, so I can pay them directly. Normally, the insurance company will not pay you, the insured. If they send out the mitigation company, then we'll pay them directly, right? If you hire your own mitigation company and that mitigation company is in network with the insurance company, they will pay them directly. If not, then they'll pay you to pay the mitigation company totally. And if you don't pay them, then Of course, a lot of these mitigation companies I've seen where they put liens on your home. So once you get that money from the insurance company, you want to do the right thing, or whoever you owe, you want to pay them, because in this time and age, contractors do not hesitate on putting a lien on your house. Okay. So that concludes anything about the mitigation um, when the insurance company sends them out. If you have any questions, share, like, comment, things like that. And thank you guys.